right, all right, all right. So, the craziest day in my life, man. Uh, excuse me. It was nuts. I think about it every day to this day. I used to think about it constantly, nonstop. I think about it mostly now at night, every night before I go to bed, uh, trying to contact God or it or whatever it was, and getting no luck. Sometimes I'll see like a flash behind my eyes when my eyes are closed, and I've thought maybe that was the contact again. But I recently learned that there's types of like radiation particles that like pass through the earth and can sometimes light up your eyes if your eyes are closed. And I've wondered, maybe am I just getting some of those particles sometimes? But anyway, enough of that. The story started with me and my friend listening to Joe Rogan. It didn't really start like that, but we had heard Joe Rogan talk about sensory deprivation tanks, and we wanted to try one. He had tried one actually before I had, and told me numerous times, "You got to do it. It's awesome." He had taken some doses and went in it, and it sounded amazing doing that. That's kind of what I wanted to do, but I wanted to try it sober the first time, just to see how it was, and yeah, get a barometer for how it was before I went and took drugs in it. So I went to the sensory deprivation tank with my buddy, and upon like on the ride, we weren't sober. I smoke weed every day, so when I say sober, I'm like I smoke weed, but this was no weed related thing. Uh, anyway, so we go to the sensory deprivation tank, and I'm trying to relax on the way there, telling myself like I'm gonna meditate in the tank, and I just want to meditate and like relax was my main focus. And when we get there, there's a super hot hippie chick that checks us in, and uh, instantly I kept thinking about this hot hippie chick wearing like tight pants and a big butt, and then like in a sensory deprivation tank, you go like take a shower and then like dry off and get in this tank naked. So I'm like, I do that, and I get in the tank, lying there naked, trying to relax, trying to focus on my breath, but I keep thinking of this hippie chick, right? And it's like throwing me off. Uh, but I keep just focusing on my breath and just counting my breath, slowly breathing in 1, 2, and then I'd think about something else, and then I'd come back to it. Probably like 15 minutes of that, right? And around the 15-minute mark or so, like I'm starting to see like colors in the darkness. In a sensory deprivation tank, you're floating in Epsom salt, so it feels like you're weightless, and it's all completely pitch black, and you have earplugs in, so you can't hear anything, you can't see anything, and it feels like you're floating. And after a little while of that, with the focused breathing, I start like I'm zoned out, and I'm starting to see like colors in the darkness. Like just like waves of like light colors, like in the like grays and stuff like that, in the blackness. And I see this one like pinprick of light, of like green light in the distance, and I'm like, oh man, awesome! It's like this little green pinprick of light, just like a little light. And I look at it and I'm like, awesome. And it's all of a sudden, swear to God, swear on everything. Oh my God, dude. This little pinprick comes and opens up like to be like this 10-foot huge eyeball in the fucking sky floating above me. Crystal clear eyeball. And the eyeball, dude, it's like human like, but fucking like not human like. It's like green. It has like the yellow like wider part, and like a green, like I can see around the rim of the eye a little bit, and it's like green outer rim, a green pupil, but like a black slit with like a vertical slit. Swear to fucking God, this thing fucking appears huge as fuck, staring at me. One eyeball just fucking staring at me. And I get scared as fuck. I like, I probably shook like a little bitch or something. I'm laying down naked in the water. I freak out a little bit, and like it's still there for a second. This all happens really quick. It felt like it lasted a long time, because the the enormous factor of it. I've never seen anything like this. Something like when you take psychedelics, you see colors, you see wavy stuff, you see different type of psychedelics, can get you different visuals, but it's nothing. And I was sober, just on weed, which is not anything to me. Been smoking for 20 plus years, right? I'm fucking sober, and this eye is crystal fucking clear, staring at me. I freak out, and I'm thinking like, I have a older brother who died when I was wait, he was 25, I was 23, and my older brother died. We were very close, and so I've talked to the other side a bunch. I have his ashes. I've like thought, like at other times I've thought like maybe he's trying to contact me or something. Some spirit's trying to contact me. I could tell you about that in another story, but I've thought sometimes that I've got some type of contact, right? So I'm thinking maybe I have some link to something, the other side. And I'm thinking in my mind, as this fucking eyeball, I see this eyeball staring at me, and I freak out, and I think like, where's my brother? I start thinking like, where's like Pony? Like, are you there? And the eyeball turns into this fucking like gray apparition of this like a human figure, like clawing, like falling back in space, like moving his arms, but like no, I didn't see like hands. It was just like this gray like humanoid like shape, like falling away, going like this. And my brother was paralyzed before he died and was a quadriplegic and couldn't like control his like he can't control like the lower half of his body, but he could like move his like arms some, but I don't know. And so I'm freaking out. This is all happening, and I'm thinking like a week before this, my friend had committed suicide. Close friend shot himself in the head, killed himself. Fucking rest in peace. And I'm thinking like, dude, this guy, Chris. I'm thinking, Chris, is this like, are you there? And I see a giant head, just the same gray like figure. It's not like anything defined like the eyeball. It's just like a gray big head. And this dude was like a monster of a man. They called him Sasquatch was his nickname. He's like 6'4", I don't like 240 or something, like bigger. I don't know. He's a monster, and he had a huge head. And I just see like a gray head like floating in this fucking space, and I think like, grandma. I have a grandma who died, and I have a bunch of her stuff where I'm living. A bunch of these like antiques, and that's one of the spirits I've kind of thought like, maybe I've got all my grandma stuff here. Like maybe I'm getting contacted by my grandma, and I think of my grandma, and the head changes to just a heart, a gray heart, just floating like in the sky. In the fucking blackness of this chamber, and then it all disappeared, and then the heart disappeared, the fucking everything disappeared, and went back to blackness, and I fucking just had to get out of the tank for a second and just fucking think of just what the fuck just happened, and I got back in the tank, and I tried to do the breathing and like call it and like talk to it or contact it again, but I never saw it again. And man, I've thought of that every day, all the time. I still think of it. What the fuck was that eyeball? Why was it not human? Like what was that about? Well, I don't know. It's just, that was the craziest day of my life. I have some other crazy stories, but man, like If you could see how fucking defined and clear this eyeball was, just staring at me, uh, it would I would spook anyone to the core. Honestly, I don't know who could walk away with that and not think that was the craziest day in their life. So yeah, that's my giant eyeball story. Swear to God, swear on my brother's grave, that fucking happened, dude. That thing fucking looked at me, and that shit was real. And I think about it all the time. I don't know what it means, but something's out there, dude. Something is